Paddy, it's a little deceptive.
Really?
Paddy gets fat, but he doesn't get out of shape. Paddy's got incredible endurance and an insane work ethic, but he also really loves to live and live life. You know, so have a few beers, eat some pizza, get fat, but he's...
Ilya Topuria.
Ilya no mas Topuria. He doesn't want no more.
If you want me to fight Posh Boy next, if you want me to fight Chorizo next, if you want me to fight Charles next, anyone can get it.
But I reckon December, Ilya Topuria, Paddy Pimblett. Why not, man? Let Paddy Pimblett have his summer. He's back on momentum. You have to cash in on Ilya Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett. You just simply have to.
I think Paddy and Ilya is one of the biggest fights you can make in all of the sport. Why not? Why aren't we doing this fight right now? I want to see Ilya versus Paddy no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, make it happen. Let's go.
I think it's one of the easiest fights that I could have in the lightweight.
Everything you thought you knew about the lightweight division? Forget it. Because Paddy, the Baddy Pimblett, just dropped a performance so dominant, it's made his biggest rivalry absolutely undeniable. The showdown with Ilya Topuria isn't just possible anymore, it's mandatory.
Doesn't have anybody in mind. Do you have some things, hey, this is what I would prefer from you?
No, not really. I want to be a world champion. I want to be undisputed champion of the world. I want to be the first ever world champion from Liverpool. And I'm going to do that. I know that's in my destiny. I know it's in my fate. Whether it's the next fight or the next 10 fights, I'm going to be a world champion. It's that simple. If you want me to fight Justin next, if you want me to fight Posh Boy next, if you want me to fight Chorizo next, if you want me to fight Charles next, any...
Pimblett isn't resting on his laurels either. Fresh off UFC 299, he's laser-focused on conquering the lightweight division. He's calling out every elite contender from Max Holloway to Justin Gaethje. Nobody is safe, and he's not just calling out names. He's aiming for the biggest targets in the game.
Put the music back on, I'll go back out and I'll fight Max. I probably weigh heavier than Max right now. I'm game, know what I mean? Give me anyone at lightweight now and I'll...
But here's the thing. Even with all those names in his crosshairs, the fight with Ilya Topuria remains his absolute top priority. Their personal beef is far from settled, and Pimblett is adamant he wants to end it permanently inside the octagon. This isn't just about rankings, it's personal.
Fake he is, and I know he deserves a beating. And he got the beating he deserved off Justin, but he deserves another one off me. But at the minute, I feel sorry for him, know what I mean? The poor little...
Now, not everyone agrees with Pimblett's confidence. Take Justin Gaethje, for example. He's convinced Topuria would absolutely dominate the Baddy, pointing to Ilya's elite striking, incredibly well-rounded skill set, and undeniable championship-level ability. Gaethje basically thinks Topuria would just be too much for him.
Fought both men. Which fight would you say is more challenging?
Oh, well, I mean, Ilya is one of the best in the world. He is one of the most dangerous fighters that there is, and he's a lot more dangerous than Paddy Pimblett. However, Paddy Pimblett is goofy. He's got a funky style, and not goofy in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not at all. You know, being goofy is such an asset. In there, he's really hard to hit. He's really long. You know, he moves in weird angles and at different times, and so that throws you off. And that's why he has success, and that's why guys like Sean Strickland have success, and guys like Dricus du Plessis have success, because their timing is just different and funky, and so having a funky style is hard to figure out the first time you're fighting somebody. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just that. I think Ilya is way more dangerous. I think fighting's crazy. I think, you know, in my mind, I think 97 out of 100 times, Ilya beats him up.
Pimblett, though, he sees right through Topuria's unbeaten aura, calling it massively overblown. He's so confident, he's predicting a finish, whether it's a knockout standing up or a submission on the mat. He's promising to expose Topuria, vowing to prove every single word if this fight ever gets booked.
People would love to see you inside the cage with Ilya Topuria. How would you get the job done against Ilya?
To absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing, when I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way.
And get this, Topuria is just as confident. He had zero doubts about fighting Pimblett, flat out calling him one of the easiest matchups in the lightweight division. Ilya guarantees he'd be in complete control from start to finish, even joking he could pick his method of victory. This rivalry is pure gasoline.
What is going on with Paddy?
With Paddy, all the fans around the world, I think that they want to see that fight. And at the same time, I have to be honest, I think it's one of the easiest fights that I could have in the lightweight division. I don't know, I can do with him whatever I want to do in reality. It's very excited fight for the fans.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna enjoy a lot the whole process, and at the same time, it's a fight where I'm gonna be able to shine once again.
How would you win? When would you win? Give us some of that Ilya prediction magic.
Against Paddy?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to think about it. I promise you, I could choose the way I want to finish.
First round?
Be like, that's for sure. He's not gonna stay there for more than one round with me. But I don't know, maybe it's gonna be cool to submit him in the ground with a triangle choke from the mount, something like that. Like, as I told him, put my in his...
But wait, it gets worse for Topuria. Pimblett is doubling down on the idea that the sheer punishment Ilya took in a past fight could have permanently shattered his confidence and future performance. That's a direct, calculated shot designed to get under Topuria's skin.
Gauge you to get you into that dogfight, drags you into it, you know what I mean? And Ilya's never had that. Ilya's never had to come back from adversity. Ilya's only ever been the hammer. He's never been the nail. You know what I mean? That's why after that fight with Justin that I knew I could come back stronger and better because I've done it before. I don't think Ilya Topuria ever comes back the same.
Yet after UFC 299, the MMA world is buzzing. The MMA guru dropped a bombshell, declaring that Paddy Topuria stole the entire show against Benoit Saint-Denis. He wasn't just good, he was dominant, silencing all the doubters and rocketing his standing in the division.
The card. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Paddy the Baddy lad. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett lad. Yous know who the boy is, lad. Yous know who the fucking boy is, lad. I'm the star of the show, lad. Paddy Pimblett steals the show with a generational performance against Benoit Saint-Denis. Amazing win. Genuinely amazing win. I don't know what the odds ended at, but when I was picking Paddy Pimblett, he's still an underdog. I think he was even more of an underdog when I was picking him as well. The odds closed up a little bit. But people are counting out Paddy here big time. And I said, what did I say, lad? Paddy said the same thing, actually, this fight week. I didn't make my prediction based on what he was saying. But that's the route to victory for him. If he stings Benoit on the feet and Benoit thinks I'll grapple, he leaves his head in position for a real elite fighter to catch guillotines on him.
That statement victory has supercharged the Pimblett-Topuria rivalry. Now, everyone from the MMA guru to Jorge Masvidal is pushing the UFC to book it immediately asterisk. They argue both fighters have immense momentum, creating the perfect storm for one of the most compelling and marketable lightweight fights the UFC could ever make.
Lad, I'm like a fucking spider, lad. Starts calling out Ilya Topuria, the winner of Holloway versus McGregor. There was fighting, I guess that fight ain't happening. Maybe you could get Holloway though. But I reckon December, Ilya Topuria, Paddy Pimblett. Why not, man? Let Paddy Pimblett have his summer. Get his back on momentum. You have to cash in on Ilya Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett. You just simply have to. I won't take anything else. And then you do Oliveira, Arman. I would like to see Arman versus Gaethje, but I could see them not doing it and maybe doing an Arman versus Holloway, but I don't know what's going to happen. But Paddy Pimblett, Ilya Topuria has to happen next. And guess what? It's actually a fucking interesting fight.
Pimblett's ambitions don't stop there. He also fancies his chances against former champion Charles Oliveira. The Baddy claims Do Bronx is no longer at his peak, confidently predicting his grappling would ultimately secure him a submission victory. That's a major Jorge.
Calling it one of the biggest fights in the sport right now.
Wow. Again, I say wow to the Paddy fight. I was not expecting that at all whatsoever. Holy smokes. Newsflash, if you don't know, Paddy choked a man dead in 30 seconds. And that man was BSD, which is no slouch. Paddy, wow, my hat's off to you, brother. That was impressive. I didn't think you were going to do that, man. That was impressive. I think Paddy and Ilya is one of the biggest fucking fights you can make in all of the sport. Why not? Why aren't we doing this fight right now? I want to see Ilya versus Paddy no matter what. Ladies and gentlemen, make it happen. Let's go.
Go. While calling out.
Hold up. Even legends like Michael Bisping and Chael Sonnen are saying Pimblett's career just took a massive turn. While maybe not ready for a title shot yet, they see high-profile matchups like Oliveira or Max Holloway as the perfect next steps to rocket his momentum and prove what he's truly made of.
Charles?
And have you heard anything back from him or?
No, like I've got nothing but respect for Charles. You know what I mean? He's an absolute legend in the sport, but he's on his way out. And I think if he tried to grapple with me, I'd submit him. But we'd probably end up having a war for 5 rounds on the feet if I ended up fighting Charles Oliveira.
And the GOAT himself, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, is buzzing. He went as far as to call Paddy Pimblett a * future UFC champion. Why? Because Pimblett stays ice-cold in chaotic scrambles, chaining submissions like it's nothing, and pouncing on tiny openings. Those instincts, Mighty Mouse says, put him head and shoulders above other contenders.
Paddy Pimblett, he was amazing. What's next for Paddy? We don't know. I don't think it's going to be a title fight. I think maybe a fight with Charles Oliveira. He called him out.
Like, I've got nothing but respect for Charles, you know what I mean? He's an absolute legend in the sport, but he's on his way out. And I think if he tried to grapple with me, I'd submit him.
Maybe a fight with Max Holloway. Maybe a fight with Justin Gaethje. A fight with Max Holloway would make a lot of sense. If Max wants to come back down to 155, which I think he will. He looked quick, he looked fast, he looked mean, he looked lean, he ran in, he jumped off the side of the octagon like Anthony Showtime Pettis back in.
Ariel Demetrius was spot on. Pimblett's night at UFC 299 couldn't have been more perfect. From that iconic walkout to the absolutely dominant submission victory and the utterly confident post-fight interview, he capitalized on every single moment. * future didn't just win. He cemented himself as a legitimate lightweight contender.
Next for Paddy, you want to know a great fight that somebody in the know, I got to leave their name out, but somebody whose opinion matters just suggested? Max Holloway versus Paddy the Baddy. Now, I understand the recency bias on getting them together, but there's still a post-fight press conference. There's post-fight media. If those guys go out and find one another, right, I don't think it's a fight that the UFC is going to get going. Paddy the Baddy's already got his hands full. He got business with Arman Tsarukyan. He's got business with Ilia Topuria. Justin Gaethje mentioned last night, if you guys didn't see, that he has not yet decided if he's going to retire or continue to compete. I didn't even know that was on the table. I thought Gaethje was all in, but just imagine that Gaethje was to step aside. That puts the belt up at a vacated standpoint. 2 athletes are going to be asked to come forward. I have to assume Paddy is one.
So there you have it. Pimblett's stock is soaring, the Topuria rivalry is boiling over, and the lightweight division is about to get a whole lot crazier. This isn't just about one fighter's rise, it's about the entire championship landscape shifting. So tell me, who do you think deserves the next title shot, and is the Topuria fight truly inevitable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the breaking MMA news. We'll catch you in the next one.
This was hot, man. Paddy the Baddy is nobody's fool. I think that you guys are seeing that now, but a lot of you guys were like me. You thought that this was a kid that said funny things with a weird hairdo. This is a regional fighter. He doesn't take it too serious. He blows up. He goes from Paddy the Fatty to Paddy the Baddy. He doesn't do that anymore. Rashad Evans was just making a point. Rashad had talked to people in his camp. Paddy's not blowing up in between fights anymore. Paddy's been out with injury. Paddy's last contest was a long, drawn-out, 25-minute war. Think about him in this standpoint. If he uses this for what it should be, a springboard, he's already got his weight down. He's already in shape. He doesn't have to miss a week, 2, 3, 4 weeks of practice to heal his body. This literally is what dreams are.
I think Paddy Pimblett is a future champion. I truly mean that. He's very good everywhere. He's good at creating the chaos. And I think for him, once he gets into chaos, he's able to find submissions. And each submission that he really, gets is very, very good basics, good fundamentals. Meaning that BSC comes across the board, they start exchanging, he shoots a takedown, he gives up his neck, he takes the neck, and he stays with a choke. He attacks the guillotine, BSC rolls. When he rolls, he traps, he attacks the shoulder, when I mean he attacks his shoulder, when he's trying to roll through, he attacks his shoulder so he can't completely roll through. When he attacked it and he rolled through, he locks up a beautiful Darce choke. He hangs onto it. BSD's trying to escape. Paddy sits on his butt, throws his legs over, and he's able to lock it in. He keeps it, secures that beautiful sim.
Talk very briefly about what happened in the co-main event, because what happened in the co-main event to me, I thought was going to be related to the main event. I was even saying as we were doing the watch along, like, oh, do they bring Paddy out? Do they have him there? Obviously, much ado about nothing. But Paddy Pimblett was given the slot of co-main event, not by chance. And who cares what happened in January at this point? Paddy Pimblett gets the opportunity to showcase himself on the Conor McGregor card. We'll find out maybe down the line how many people were actually watching, but I'm sure it was a big number. And he came out. I mean, the complete 180 of what happened in the main event. He nailed it every single step. Nails the walkout, the entrance, all that stuff and more. And then he submits Benoit Saint-Denis via Darce choke in what was also a shocking turn of events in a very short amount of time, because Benoit Saint-Denis, throws a kick and then all of a sudden, I think it was a kick, right? And then all of a sudden shoots and gets caught in a guillotine, which eventually ends up being a Darce choke here. And Paddy is unbelievable on the ground. He's obviously very comfortable. That's his forte, the grappling side of things. And he chokes him out. Not just chokes, out cold. Out cold. An unbelievable turn of events, a glowing review, and then he nails the post-fight interview as well, because he says, Ilya, Conor, who else did he say? Max, Justin, you can all